محرابك ارتكبا.
Chic Leisure Limited, making life easier. Our renowned great tasting vermicelli comes pre-cut in regular and parch, packaged to make preparation simple. Attention all doubles vendors and roti makers, try our high quality pre-sifted bromate free all-purpose and whole wheat flour, low price and conveniently packaged. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Leisure Limited, Warrenville, Conopia. Chic Leisure Limited, quality you can trust.
Introducing the finest selection from premium deli and meats. Savor the bold flavors of beef salami, beef pepperoni and chicken ham. Indulge in our diced beef bacon and perfectly sliced beef bacon. Explore the rich taste of smoked beef and tender roast beef. Treat yourself to our juicy jumbo chicken hot dogs and beef hot dogs. Top it all off with the delicate flavors of smoked turkey breast and our premium whole turkey, all halal certified for your trust. Delivered to you by Chill Foods, Premium Deli and Meats, excellence in every bite.
The power. To shatter the strongest. Conquer the indestructible with Ronex's collection of angle grinders.
Hello, good night. Welcome everyone to another episode of Breaking Barriers live on IBN. I am one of your hosts, Richard Jagasa, and joining with me a bit later are two surprise guests. Do you think I should mention it or hold my hand? Who mention one? Nazim Ishmael is the one. All right, so bear with us. It's a rainy Wednesday out there. I believe we just got, is it a yellow alert? I think we just got notified that it is officially a yellow alert out there. Let me pull it up very quickly. In the meantime, I just want to go through some, there we go, yellow alert, notified just a couple of minutes ago. And I want to go through, while we have the time, just some brief highlights, some things that occurred since our last week's show to now. First on the agenda, most recently, today was a meeting between the Prime Minister, Minister in the Ministry, Barry Padarat, and the THA Chief Secretary. And coming out of that, the notes are, it's a 5-hour meeting, I understand. In the national interest of preserving and enhancing the development of our twin island, the Honorable Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisasa SC of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and the Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine, the Chief Secretary of Tobago House of Assembly, engaged in productive 5-hour-long meeting. Given their shared commitment to strengthening the legislative agenda and operational relationship between the central government and Tobago, the leaders were joined by the Honorable Barry Padarat, Leader of Government Business in the House of Representatives, and other officials. During the meeting, The Chief Secretary appraised Prime Minister of a range of long-standing issues affecting the people of Tobago, many of which have arisen from years of neglect under the PNM former administration. Some of these concerns, described as low-hanging fruits, present opportunities for immediate collaborative interventions. Now, of course, some of the discussion key points included Tobago autonomy and the right to self-determination, expanding the THA legislative and regulatory authority, operational and infrastructural matters relating to national security, land titles, town and country planning, tourism, the construction of a Scarborough secondary school, the air and sea bridges, export license, the need for continuous consultation with the people of Tobago, special focus on public service, and other matters related to the 5th, 6th, and 7th schedules of Act 40, 1996. So that is happening. Another highlight, a government minister posted this just 20 hours ago. Today I sat with a whistleblower who told CEO and general manager, who told of CEOs and general managers creating fake contracts and backdating them to dates before the election to trap the new regime into buying them out of bogus corrupt contracts in order to fire them. To pay them 3 years of bogus inflated salaries and perks. Apparently this went on through all sectors of the state. The awarding of fake jobs with fake invoices for work never done and services never delivered lined up dutifully for payment. Dial Singh warned of a purge and he made it sound like a bad thing. Even in debt, these people were looting. The people of Trinidad and Tobago overwhelmingly voted the PNM out, and that includes their corrupt underlings so accustomed to a culture of theft that they may have trapped themselves into acts that will buy those contracts out with prison time. The Kid Rowley-led administration, Stuart Young legacy, is a criminal empire that enriched 1% billions of dollars taken from hard work. Okay, so I'll leave out the last part. But that was posted by Philip Edward Alexander 20 hours ago, and it brings to light a serious issue of what may very well turn out to be an underlying string of corruptions in all of the ministries relative to contracts being awarded and requiring payout. Another issue I wanted to raise on the topic of live issues right now, the yellow alert just came back on my phone. The last one, and then I'll move on to our current decision, a current matter relating to a court decision. Mohit moves to improve delivery of social welfare grants. Let me just go to it very quickly. In an article published on May 25th, Minister of People, Social Development and Family Services, Vandana Mohit, said she intends to roll out plans and initiatives to clear the backlog of social services, grants, and ensure they reach people in need quickly, but face a major hurdle of staffing some of the departments. At the prize distribution ceremony of the ministry spoke on word competition at the ministry's headquarters in St. Vincent Street. She said, "In the coming weeks, it is our intention to revamp the delivery of social services to the poor and the vulnerable in a speedier fashion." All right, so we have good things to look forward to there. Other than that, the one aspect I wish to spend some degree of time on is this issue that I saw today posted by the Equal Opportunities Chairman. Now, for those of you who do not remember, this is the individual who actively held back Veera Bajan from receiving her appointment as a lay assessor at the Equal Opportunities Commission. There was a case filed. The Equal Opportunities Tribunal lost the case, and they appealed. And some of the language by both the Court of First Instance and the Court of Appeal is alarming. Yet, the individual, the chair, says today that unity needed. Commenting, I should point out, on Indian Arrival Day. She commented, unity needed for society to flourish. Now, in this judgment, I'm just going to read 2 excerpts, all right, and then we'll get the special guest on air. Among other things, the Court of Appeal quoted, "What has been most disturbing are the records of communication penned by the second defendant to Her Excellency, the President. That communication is as if the claimant, which is Veera Bajan, is not a real person, as if she does not exist and is invisible. There was so much of putting about it, like the difficulties the first defendant would have in the case of an emergency and not having anyone to lift and carry her out of the building. another excerpt, and this is going to be last because it's very heart-wrenching to read. It is startling that in the light of the president's appointment of the claimant as a lay assessor, and up to today, the chairman of the Equal Opportunities Tribunal has not spoken to the claimant. What is that about? I wonder if whether or not the second defendant spends time in those reflections, she is the best fit for the chair of the Equal Opportunities Tribunal. All right, so at this point, I think it's an appropriate time to take a break. We'll take some messages, and then we will have our special guests join us on the panel. All right, guys, let's go to our first break. Thank you so much.
Introducing the finest selection from premium deli and meats. Savor the bold flavors of beef salami, beef pepperoni, and chicken ham. Indulge in our diced beef bacon and perfectly sliced beef bacon. Explore the rich taste of smoked beef and tender roast beef. Treat yourself to our juicy jumbo chicken hot dogs and beef hot dogs. Top it all off with the delicate flavors of smoked turkey breast and our premium whole turkey, all halal certified for your trust. Delivered to you by Chill Foods, premium deli and meats, excellence in every bite.
The power. To shatter the strongest. Conquer the indestructible with Ronex's collection of angle grinders.
Chic Leisure Limited, making life easier. Our renowned great tasting vermicelli comes pre-cut in regular and parch, packaged to make preparation simple. Attention all doubles vendors and roti makers, try our high quality pre-sifted bromate free all-purpose and whole wheat flour, low price and conveniently packaged. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Leisure Limited, Warrenville, Conopia. Chic Leisure Limited, quality you can trust.
Ronix's premium quality.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems, and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest variety, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
Introducing the finest selection from premium deli and meats. Savor the bold flavors of beef salami, beef pepperoni, and chicken ham. Indulge in our diced beef bacon and perfectly sliced beef bacon. Explore the rich taste of smoked beef and tender roast beef. Treat yourself to our juicy jumbo chicken hot dogs and beef hot dogs. Top it all off with the delicate flavors of smoked turkey breast and our premium whole turkey, all halal certified for your trust. Delivered to you by Chill Foods, premium deli and meats, excellence in every bite.
For the everyday lowest prices on all grocery items, trust Low Cost Supermarket for the widest variety of quality products at low prices. Freshly picked fruits and vegetables, healthy products for your well-being, high quality meat cuts, and a warm and friendly service. Low Cost Supermarket, Southern Main Road, Cunupia.
Publicly about it.
Who won?
Hello, good night. Welcome back to Breaking Barriers. We have our two special guest stars, Nazim Ishmael and Inshan Ishmael. Oh God, all they have the same hairstyle, wearing the same shoes, pants, everything.
That's what we're talking about.
Right.
Assalamu alaikum and good night again. Welcome today. Well, as you can see, we have Inshan with us. So without further ado, I will just hand you over to him so he can organize the suit.
The boss of the program.
All is yours.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. Of course, it's a pleasure being in your company this afternoon. As many of you are aware, 2 weeks ago we did a fundraiser where we asked your support in trying to finish off our first floor of the hospital. And we were looking to raise just about $1 million. And many people open their eye big and say, but wait now, $1 million in an hour's time? Something had to be wrong with them. But, you know, that has always been our trademark. Something wrong with them. That is we. Right? So, basically, yeah, something wrong with it. Like we self. Right? So, basically, I would just like to tell you that after coming down the stairs, not via forklift, not via elevator, but by people power, I have so much more respect for our physically challenged people and what they are going through. You know, I have so much, you can pass that here from us, right here. I'm just top up. So let me see, Richard,
Yeah.
how much you feel we were able to raise?
Well, based on the calculations from that day, it was in the vicinity of 1.1, 1.2 million.
Right.
But I expect the people of Trinidad and Tobago to re-engineer their love for you, especially after Express ran an article and so on, that I just anticipate closer to 2 million.
Ashmi, what do you say?
I say about 1.6.
Bobby?
I say about 1.4.
1.4? Boto?
I say about 3.
1.3. Patos?
I say about
1.4. 2.5.
They tell me it was wrong about St. Joseph the same way, eh? They tell me.
And what you say?
2.
And Zaki, how much you say? 1.5. 1.5. Well, gentlemen.
Hey, wait now. So I don't get to say in this? What are you going to do in this place? This is not a democracy.
And you tell me he was not going to be in the program tonight?
Yeah, but then he show up and they let him in. I was getting them boys signed.
I say 1.250.
He bidding for a contract.
That sounds like $1,250 to me. Anyway, gentlemen, this is a figure that we have received almost in hand.
Good. You see? We correct again.
And here, they say Trinidad do have, people who the scare.
Yeah.
You telling me that? That is phenomenal.
That is money
That is, as we on that, let me just add one thing. The people who went online and deposited at JMMB, we have to send a receipt for you. Correct. So what you will have to do, you can call me or Zakir, right? They could give, Justin, you could put the 2 numbers on, and you could, or via WhatsApp, you could send your information and we will WhatsApp the, you could just send a WhatsApp your chit with your phone number and your WhatsApp number, and we'll send a receipt for you, because we are very particular where funds are concerned with receipts for accountability. So, all right, you can proceed now.
So we have crossed the 2 mil mark. Of course, that will get us faster. What took us over the 2 million mark today? A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, contacted me and he said, he read the Express article and he know about what's going on, and he said to me, he said, listen, man. He said, I will support you, however, so book me down for 50,000. I say, okay, so $50 I'll organize. All right, so I say, what would you like us to do? Would you like us to collect it, check? You tell us. He said, well, you tell me if you want to wire it or if you want the funds sent to your supplier. I say, but the supplier do not accept TTD accept US, and he said, well, waiting, I was talking about.
Oh, God. 50,000 US?
50,000 US.
And you was going and collect 50,000 TT?
Yeah, right.
I had to send you TN Tech to pay my bill.
Is that foreigner?
No, that was good. Well, here, man. I find Justin, get something ready there. You see the people outside there? We have to show them out and give them a real thank you, You see this? I mean, where else in Trinidad and Tobago? Well, I know about other parts of the world, but in Trinidad and Tobago, you could get the people coming out and showing the support, the kind of support. Because you see, if you take into consideration everyone who come to give the pledge at Baraka Ground, they keep asking, they want this hospital to open as fast as possible. That is what they keep asking, because they realize the public hospital is some of them hospital go kill you. They go as it is.
Overworked and understaffed.
Right? And they have to go private, and not everybody have the resources to go private. So they want this hospital to come on full stream at its earliest, because they show, as Inshan said before, a lot of people will benefit. It's not that it's free services, but the fees, we will try to keep it down so that people can afford and it can have maybe payment plans. True or false? See the devices?
Well, it depends. It depends on if they could afford.
Right.
And not everybody could afford. Now, I think what we are is we are the go-between international. Mm-hmm. We are the go-between, meaning that the public healthcare gives you an appointment after you're dead. And then the private healthcare giving you a bill that causing you to dead. So therefore, we are the go-between. We are the ones that people will realize that, look, yes, what they were saying wasn't just talk. It was things to do. Now, I don't know about all here, but I am 100% sure that I will be out of this program in 10 minutes' time, because I have been getting some pains all day yesterday, all day today, and it has been tremendously difficult. And as you could see, I'm actually in a wheelchair, right? So I had my wheelchair brought down here so that I can move, which I have no problems with, Like I tell people, if God decides for me to be on a wheelchair all his life, I thank God for that, because at least I'm in a position that is better than the man who cannot even move around in a wheelchair. And then, we can go on and on and on and on and on. So what I would like to do, I would just like to open up the phone lines for a few minutes so that we could just give a personal thank you to the people who would like to express their gratitude for getting in to be a chance of this tour as well. So we'll open up our phone lines, call in. We're going to take some calls for the next 10 minutes. Let us hear, what do you think when you saw the figure plastered on your screen just now, 2.3 million, what was your first thought? What did you think? What do you believe is the best, How come? You think that Trinidadians should have put more? They shock you by over 2 million? Because you know it have some people who would have probably think that we should have get 10 million. Right? So again, we'll open up our phone lines and hear what you have to say. And from there, like I said, I would take my absence from here because I'm in real pain and I seriously cannot stay on here. But I wanted to reach out to you tonight. Even though I am in real pain, I decided that, look, I have no choice but to reach out to the people and tell them thank you. So, lines open, call in, let's hear what you have to say. Remember 663-8373 or 662-3160. Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Yes, hi, good night.
Good night. I'm calling for two reasons. One, I'm now coming to the house. So I know there's a particular question, but I went down to Barber Grounds about 2 days ago, and nobody was there, so I need to get back.
All right, what
drop off my pledge.
All right, what time? Yes, if you're in the area, you see, like from tomorrow, if let me say 8:30, 9 o'clock to about 1:30, you can come there, or you can call me. You can take my number 792-1656. You can call me, and I will accommodate you.
No problem. That's not. Let me take the number because I'm not writing. Just 1 second.
It's on the screen, caller.
Yeah, it's on the screen now.
On the screen.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, just give me back that number again.
Look it on the screen. You can get it on the screen.
792-1656. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry about that, eh?
No, it's all right. I mean, you can't sit down there whole day waiting. It's I who didn't come right away, so it's not a problem. Thank you.
All right, thank you all the same.
Let's go back to our lines again. Hello? Oh, very quiet.
Yeah, but Inshan, one of the things I have to say, on behalf of everyone, I want to thank you for being such a spearhead person in starting the hospital. I know there's a force behind it. I know there is a committee, a group, or organization. I know there are other persons involved, other entities involved. But I want to thank you on behalf of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and also thank those citizens who pledge and who make the pledge possible. Because while you may not be the one giving the money, it's because of you that somebody else might be giving money. So we thank all of those persons who make that possible. We are grateful, and as a young person, we have a call on line, so I'll just finish up quickly. As a young person looking on, it's great to see the generosity of a nation behind a movement and behind a person.
All right.
Let's go back to your line. Hello?
Hello, good night.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you doing? Inshan, how are you doing?
I'm good. What's up?
Glad to see you out. I said, I'm glad to see you out.
I'm glad to see you out.
Thank you.
Yes, you know who calling?
No.
Inshan.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to
pick up the voice.
To pick up the voice right now.
Faiz Mohammed.
Faiz
Mohammed.
Oh, Faiz, how you going, my brother?
I'm going good, yes. Yes. Yeah, well, I donated 1,000 US.
Thank you. This is Faiz, a good friend of mine from Faizabad. Faiz.
No, Princess Town.
Hi, Princess Town.
And I have a point.
Well, I know somewhere in South. Call me tomorrow, and we'll put things in place for you, all right?
Yeah, what I say?
Yeah, call me tomorrow, and we'll put things in place, all right?
All right, yeah. But,
okay, then, Faiz.
What I would like to tell you, this is something. Your brother was doing a nice work. Your smaller brother doing a nice work. Okay?
Yeah, glad you realize his younger brother. Thank you. Thank you.
Smaller brother.
I thought it was me she was talking about. Sorry, he was talking about.
Okay, bye. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Hello, good evening, caller.
Sorry?
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Inchan, good night. This is one of your, I always look in on the program, and I would just like to say, as you give, so you shall receive. And you have done a lot for people, so they are just returning.
That's true. Correct.
Thank you. Greatly
Correct.
appreciated.
Correct, Kola. Hello, Kola, are you there?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh,
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good night. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night to Mr. Inchan Ishmael, Mr. Richard Jagger.
good night.
Yeah, man.
We would have made a pledge last week, my granddaughter, my grandson, and myself. They broke a piggy bank to at least make a pledge. I will contact Mr. Nazim tomorrow, please God, and we'll ensure that he does get that $1,000 to help with the facilitation of the hospital. So, Mr. Inchan Ishmael, I just want to say, sir, if we had 20 persons of your caliber extra in Trinidad and Tobago, this place would have been so much better. What you are doing here is not just for humanity. It's for everybody and the status that make this place stronger. It makes it better. I just want to say, sir, thank you very much for giving your life to service to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I hope some politicians take your lead, take your role, take your mantra, and this place will certainly be a more respectable, respected, better place to live. Thank you, sir. May God continue to bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Kola. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, good evening, Kola. Hello.
Next call.
Hi, good afternoon, guys.
Good evening, Kola. Go ahead.
I'm so happy to see you, Inchan. That God bless and love, and you will feel better soon. Okay, my dear?
Thank you. Thank you.
And Brother Inchan didn't tell you last week, Thursday, I was up there on the ground, and he said, I was wishing that I could see you, and he mentioned to you, I tell him to tell you I was there.
He
Brother
did tell me.
Inchan.
Oh, it's Adam.
You know who it is?
That's the lady with the cover?
Yeah, the cover.
Right.
And he told me I will mention it last week that I was there to see and was wishing to see you.
Correct.
He doesn't get the chance to talk to people of the opposite sex often, huh? What I miss at what I miss is his wife does have him on the manners.
Yeah, okay. And thanks
God
again.
is love. You won't have so much of pain, okay?
Thank you, my dear.
Okay. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, good. Huh? No, well, guys, you see, the reality of it is that imagine people who didn't get a chance still feeling obligated. And I would like to thank those people so much because really and truly, when you make a promise, it's a pledge. A pledge, it's a promise. And you don't want to teach children that you are willing to break that promise by leading by example. And it's a good way of teaching children, responsibility too as well. So I guess, when you look at this whole thing, Richard, I always tell people, and I tell my children this too as well, sometimes you may have a new method of doing something, but your parents may have a way of doing something that is the tried and tested way. And it is a way that works. And this is something I always try to get through them, that yes, you all are young, you all are dynamic, you all have the ability to cross new paths and to try different ways. But at the end of the day, one must not cast aside and negate the contribution all our parents have made towards our achievement. Now, in my few minutes here again, I just want to say that it has been tremendous thus far. The most hardest part of this thing is the pain that I get every single day, and not only that, You see the thirstiness, it comes on very often. Every single 2-3 minutes, you're feeling thirsty and thirsty and thirstier. So what I will do, in the next 1 or 2 calls, I will take just about 1 or 2 more calls again, and I will head out and I will leave these 2 quite capable gentlemen to handle the phone lines where I would, let's go. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, good evening, caller, go ahead.
Hello?
Hi, caller, you're live, go ahead.
I just wanted to say a few words.
Go ahead, caller, you can mute your television and speak directly into your cell phone or telephone.
Okay. I just wanted to say that, a lot of people are thinking that Asian will just go like that. But yeah, I got a tip from a doctor from India who said that he can live a very long life if he takes some lemon in warm water every morning and drink 2 tablespoons of coconut oil in the afternoon.
He even drinking.
I would like
right now, he even trying car oil.
Huh? Not the ordinary coconut oil. The clear one.
Remember, caller, thank you very much, caller. I want people to understand something. Huh? When people come down with cancer, the first thing everybody do, boy, you gotta start sauce up. You gotta start this, you gotta start that. You gotta start the other. You have to do this, you have to do that. You have to use this thing to bathe. You have to use that. Not every cancer is the same. Not every cancer is the same. There are literally millions of strains of cancer outside there. So when you see and you hear about people with cancer, take it easy. Take it easy, and please try not to bombard them with the thousands of messages as much as you love them. With the amount of messages about how to cure cancer. Because, quite frankly, not all those are really cures. Some are ways just to get people to buy certain products. All right? So, again, thank you so much for those of you who are joining us late. We raise, and one of the ways people were wondering, but wait now, how come it is they counting how much going in the bank? What we did, we stopped off all deposits to the account. So the only account coming into the account was the one where we write off checks, etc. So we knew how to balance the accounts where that was concerned. And the ones where were received via hand, it was received when physically people came here.
Right.
So we knew what people came, when they came, how they came. So every single thing is accounted for. Thank God for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so again, guys, thank you so much. All right, let's take one more call. Hello?
Hello, good night.
Good night.
I'm so glad, Granny's so glad to see Mr. Enchant. I'm very glad to see him. God bless him. God bless all you. Granny's well glad to see him doing such a good job to do. All you. And God bless all you.
Thank you very much, Granny.
Thank you very much, Granny. Thank you.
Granny. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Granny.
All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a break, and these guys will continue program, with the couture and the bacchanal and all those things like, many of you like. So God bless you, take care, and I'll catch you for Breaking Barriers. Maybe it is, I might be back up in about 2-3 weeks, I don't know. Maybe it is a month time, God willing.
You will. You're a fighter.
Yeah, I ain't backing on. All right, so, Assalamu alaikum, and I'll see you later.
Introducing the finest selection from premium deli and meats. Savor the bold flavors of beef salami, beef pepperoni, and chicken ham. Indulge in our diced beef bacon and perfectly sliced beef bacon. Explore the rich taste of smoked beef and tender roast beef. Treat yourself to our juicy jumbo chicken hot dogs and beef hot dogs. Top it all off with the delicate flavors of smoked turkey breast and our premium whole turkey, all halal certified for your trust. Delivered to you by Chill Foods, Premium Deli and Meats, excellence in every bite.
The power. To shatter the strongest. Conquer the indestructible with Ronex collection of angle grinders.
Chic Leisure Limited, making life easier. Our renowned great tasting vermicelli comes pre-cut in regular and parch, packaged to make preparation simple. Attention all doubles vendors and roti makers, try our high quality pre-sifted bromate free all-purpose and whole wheat flour, low price and conveniently packaged. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Leisure Limited, Warrenville, Conopia. Chic Leisure Limited, quality you can trust.
Ronex premium quality.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
For the everyday lowest prices on all grocery items, trust Low Cost Supermarket for the widest variety of quality products at low prices. Freshly picked fruits and vegetables, healthy products for your well-being, high quality meat cuts, and a warm and friendly service. Low Cost Supermarket, Sun and Main Road, Cunupia.
Introducing the finest selection from Premium Deli and Meats. Savor the bold flavors of beef salami, beef pepperoni, and chicken ham. Indulge in our diced beef bacon and perfectly sliced beef bacon. Explore the rich taste of smoked beef and tender roast beef. Treat yourself to our juicy jumbo chicken hot dogs and beef hot dogs. Top it all off with the delicate flavors of smoked turkey breast and our premium whole turkey, all halal certified for your trust. Delivered to you by Chill Foods, Premium Deli and Meats, excellence in every bite.
The power. To shatter the strongest. Conquer the indestructible with Ronex collection of angle grinders.
Good night and welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Breaking Barriers on IBN. I will be holding down the fort while some set changes and things happen. I want to thank Engineer Ishmael for joining us very briefly. And of course, we recognize the sentiments that he will share today and tomorrow and for the rest of his days. And his sentiments essentially are that he thanks the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago and all of those who pledged, even those who live away, foreigners and so on, who pledged and donated, promised and, in fact, provided charity to contribute to the opening of the hospital, which will benefit a number of people. Of course, and of course, we all can agree that Engineer Ishmael himself is a very hardworking, dedicated, faithful man. And it's for that reason that I, for one, stand behind him. And I know those others in the studio here can attest to that, and they too share those sentiments. While I hold down the floor, I just want to touch on some brief topics, continue to touch on some brief topics. I don't want to spend too much time on any one topic. Last week, what do you think about the Prime Minister talking about ghost rentals and all those rent? Remember we talked about that in the car one day? We mentioned how they wanted to know in the campaign trail, where's she getting all the money from? Where's she getting the money to do those things? Headline in the papers, ghost rentals costing the state $493 million in leased property, worries PM. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has announced a sweeping review of state property rentals, describing the nearly $500 million spent in 1 year, fiscal 2024, on properties as dead money that reflects wasteful expenditure and poor oversight of public records. Quote, government rentals, this has caused billions of dollars to be spent without transparency. The total spent in the last fiscal year alone, 2024, was $493 million. That is like dead money because it is not like you are getting anything back for it. Now, I'll just briefly explain, correct me if I'm wrong, but when a ministry, a public authority, a government, a state enterprise has to operate, it must be outfitted. Staff, facilities, equipment, printer, paper, pen, staff, person, human resource, and so on. And it must also be stationed in a facility. Now, we have more need for office space than we have actual office space owned by the government. So what do? The government oftentimes rent or lease properties from private individuals. What was alarming in last week's post-cabinet press conference, is that in some of these rental arrangements, some have expired and not been renewed. Some do not have any cabinet note or minute connecting them or approving them. Some are not OSHA compliant, Ministry of Health compliant. Some are not up to date in terms of the resources, the facilities, and so on. And therefore, it's wasted. Now, there's one quote I want to bring to everyone's attention here relative to, before I find it, I'm seeing this quote here, so I'll go to, I found it. Even more alarming, the Prime Minister said, was the emergence of what she referred to as ghost rentals, leased for properties where there appeared to be little to no evidence that the actual government occupation of that property. So on top of having a building and renting a space that has no proper approvals and is not properly outfitted and so on, we also have the idea that there might be papers, leases, arrangements, monies being paid by the state for properties without actual government occupation of any property, without the property possibly even existing, right? That's very alarming. And the other code, the one that I wanted to bring to everyone's attention, I may have lost it. There we go. Two companies, JV Holdings and NH Nahus Investment Limited, were paid over $15 million in rent per year in properties rented by government, and regrettably, there are no current leases. We're paying for property without a lease. But if a farmer go to ADB for a loan, we a lease for the land, right? But if me and you go to the bank for a loan, where your title for the property you want a mortgage. But GV Holdings and NH Nahus get 15 million and they don't even have a lease for the place. And the quote goes on, and there are others paid over 15 million in rent per year, rented by government, and there is no current lease and no cabinet approval. You understand what that means? It have no paper trail. When you go in the bank for a little mortgage on your house to fix a leaking roof or to change your cesspit, a little 40,000, 50,000, they ask you for everything. 30 years of proper title you have to show on the property, your land and building tax up to date, your WASA clearance, your land and building approvals and so on, right? You have to get an engineer to draft if it's a split, so on. Everything must meet approvals. But look at it, 15 million and then playing joke with that boy? 15 million? According, this is the kicker. You see, the Nahus name was familiar because I think if you all go back on the show, you always see Uncle Nazim and I raising concerns about a company named Nahus. But let's go on. The other paragraph, according to Prime Minister, rental properties belonging to relatives of former People's National Movement Government Minister Faris Arawi allegedly cost taxpayers $1.7 million. So while Faris in the gym, bank account getting fat 1.7 million. While Faris wasn't serving the people at San Fernando, that's why he get curtailed by Dr. Dowlat. Right? While Faris wasn't serving the people at San Fernando, his bank account was getting fat. His relatives, company records, have the relatives as directors and owners of the company. But those are issues that will be revealed as we go on. So there's something inherently unfair in renting properties and the state paying for it out of money from the public purse and we the citizens not getting anything out of it. Seriously, seriously unfair. But we have a government now who has not only brought this to light, but undertaken a Herculean task to resolve the issue. First, there is the assessment process, which is currently undergoing, and I expect to see another press conference tomorrow, post-cabinet press conference tomorrow, perhaps bringing more light to this issue. And the assessment is simply going to be, well, what do we have leases ongoing for? What are we paying for? Are we getting value for money? And if not, let's close off some existing arrangements. Let's see where we can save money. Let's renegotiate. And let's see where we can get more money to do other things, such as finish schools, hospitals, hire doctors, and so on, and pay other outstanding bills. So I will be following up on that story as it progresses, but I must say 1.7 million per year for properties without lease to one man's family and 15 million to two companies without lease with similar names, serious issues. But we have Uncle Nazim back on with us. What's your thoughts?
But
I can rent anything from you for $15.
Faris and his wife, as you away, and they are married, right?
That if he and his wife married?
His wife is a Nahus, you know?
Correct. That's correct.
So his wife collecting the money simply means Faris getting money from it.
You know, somebody met me. Sometimes I take a walk around the building, around the space at my office, and a lady saw me, I think it was Monday, and she said, so what do you think about Faris and his wife and all that money I think they was making? I said, why go think about it? All I go say is that money the country will never see again. She said, no, that's not what I mean, son. That's not what I mean. She said, you feel Faris go leave him now? I said, why you say that? She said, because she go watch him and say, well, you's no value to me now. Get out of here. I was minding you all the time.
Well, the people at San Fernando West did say that Faris had no use to them after all he did with the waterfront and the high rise he going to build. You understand?
Yeah.
But beside that, do you have anything to talk about rental lending again? Or you want
no, I got there. I wanted to see what you had to raise.
No, well, what happened? You know, Facebook. On Facebook, you read. You know, a lot of people asking, what is the murder toll from the 28th of April?
Right.
And it's such a ridiculous question. Like if they wasn't living here for over 9.5 years. You have a government that is in office for partly 2 weeks. but they already want miracles. Miracles they're looking for. I don't understand these people. And these same people who talking now, they had no mouth, you know.
Yeah.
They had no mouth. All of a sudden, they get mouth.
Yeah. As you talk about mouth and don't have no mouth, how you like how we want to dictate and tell the state what to use the DB campus for. 9.5 years, they had no mouth, and they didn't say open it, they didn't say what to do with it. All of a sudden, they want to say what to do with it.
But I saw this guy, I think it's Mackenzie.
Former dean, former principal?
Yeah, he
Copeland.
said...
Brian Copeland, Professor Copeland.
The one who was, well, forgive me
well, tell me what you say first, and I'm going to tell you.
He was saying the purpose they're going to what the UE proposed is a good one. Like for medical purposes.
You have a video? You have a picture?
No,
queued
I
up
don't.
for this?
Yesterday, I tried.
I thought that's what they mean there.
No, I have a video, but not right now, guys. So he said the purpose that they wanted for, they're going to use it for,
right,
is they find it good. But I know the purpose for DBA campus was for law,
right,
and other university degrees,
right,
catering, particularly for the people from South, and who you see that is what I doesn't understand. Now people from North don't want to go South,
right?
It's too far.
That's what they're saying.
But people from South
was going
must
north
come to UE and rent. That ain't no problem.
Yeah. Let me break it down. The bottom line is, it's not for UE principal, dean, professor, it's not for you or I, it's not for nobody in Abalize. Tai is not for nobody to say, it's not for anybody to dictate what that campus is to be used for. The campus is built with state funds. The people of Trinidad and Tobago paid to build the campus, the facility. The people of Trinidad and Tobago, for all intents and purposes, own the land because it's as I understand, is state land. The facility will have to, as a result of being neglected for 9.5 years in excess thereof, has to be assessed, and certain repair works have to be taken. When that is done, then the administration will look at it and do a means feasibility test and determine what needs it could best meet for society. It will have to consider the economic needs of the country, the educational needs of the country, the tertiary educational needs training and skills training of the country, and of course the geography of the venue. And what I can say, whatever they do with it, it will benefit all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago because it will widen access to tertiary education. It will widen access to South citizens more than anybody else. It will improve access to education for regional students and international students who now have... Let me break it down. People may not understand. If you were allocating 100 spaces for a faculty, let's just say easy maths, 100 spaces for a faculty. Now you have more classroom space, so they're going to be able to allocate 200 spaces for a faculty. If you were allocating one lecture in, let's say social sciences per week, because you only have one lecturer skilled, one professor skilled in that. Now you have a facility, a space, a room, a classroom to do 2 classes, and so on. So in ways as simple as that, and there are many explanations I could give, but I just choose that one as an easy one to understand. That's what it will happen, which is why I'm saying there will be increased access to education and increase to facilitate a wider education and tertiary education and skills training, especially to South citizens. So nothing is wrong. People do it in the US and in England all the time. They just leave home to leave home sake, to spread their wings for whatever purpose. It will have people who will leave north of the Caroni River to come down south just for whatever reason, for independent purposes or whatever the case is, and vice versa. Even though the facility may be offered in both campuses, nothing is wrong with that. There are people in Trinidad now who, even though a degree is offered in Trinidad, leave of their own free will to go study in Jamaica or Barbados, as the case may be, and vice versa. Correct. So having it here does nothing. Having it there, the DB campus does nothing except give the country wider opportunities and options.
Correct.
Wider opportunities and options. So first issue I wish to put to rest is It's not for us to dictate what the campus shall be used for. There will be a means test, and that determination will be made at the appropriate time with all stakeholders involved. But whatever is done will benefit all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, especially the ones seeking tertiary education. But it will benefit, and again, I just want to draw a simple example, it will benefit employers, because employers will now have a wider pool of persons to hire. A wider pool means he gets labor, he gets skilled labor, he gets educated persons with degrees in his business. His business will, of course, rise because he now has educated people involved in the operation of his business. Simple thing. Companies that double up on administrative staff as a HR manager, now you will have access to both. You will be able to hire both. Simple, simple, simple.
And within the area, the citizens themselves will benefit. People who have like food stalls, rental apartments,
the economy,
all them things,
Yeah.
So it's a plus, it's a win-win situation.
You think you have land in South we could buy, boy, and put on an apartment?
We gotta do it fast. We gotta prefab.
We could do it fast, yeah.
But seeing that the previous government handed the campus over to UWI.
Well, did they?
Well, I don't know if officially it was mentioned. I don't know if they officially documents were submitted and they gave them the clearance. But where does that leave this government if they have an agreement with the previous government?
Well, no, hold on. I don't think that they did, because I think as a day ago I read an article. Let me see if I can pull it up very quickly. More or less saying that UWI has no deed and no lease with the campus.
I saw that too.
So let me see if I can pull it up very quickly. But I think it said the government has no. All right, let me see if I can pull it. But my understanding is that if there's no lease arrangement between the state and any entity, well, then there's nothing to take back, because I never give it to you.
A verbal agreement is more or less a contract.
But I don't think that's what they're saying. Okay. I don't think that's what they're saying. And with something as serious as operating an entire university campus, I think it must be something on paper. There must be some memorandum, something in writing.
But what about as you said, the funds went towards that now?
So again, I'm looking for the article, but to be honest with you, I say this in court all the time. Anybody could say anything, you have to show me a paper that says that.
All right, don't worry, I'll go get a paper for you.
You have to show me a paper that says that. And memory serves that last week's post-cabinet briefing, the Prime Minister said, as far as she's concerned, it was never handed over.
All right.
So...
Let me hope it have no couture and bacchanal with it. Let me have a smooth transition.
It could have couture and bacchanal if they want, but as the Prime Minister said, do not test us.
Do not test me.
She said, do not test me.
Yes.
Do not test me.
Right.
She's moving like Margaret Thatcher, like the Iron Lady with iron fist.
No, but even though she operating so,
yeah,
you could see it is not in an arrogant and hostile way.
No.
Like our previous Prime Minister and other members of the PNM party.
Yeah.
It wasn't hostile.
Yeah.
Everybody took it in good stead.
Yeah. No, it is, understand the concept, understand the difference. It is, I want that facility open to benefit the children of the country. And nothing you say or do will stop me from opening that facility. It's in that tone, it's in that, that vein, right? Versus Rowley's attitude of, do ask me nothing.
Yeah.
I go in and play golf.
Go and drink your rum and move out my face.
Yeah.
You like them kind of thing?
There's a difference.
Die demand. So
you could be strong-minded and still be respectable.
Right, and that is what is taking place.
There we go.
Now, it was so pleasing for me to pass on Watt Street and saw the Curia Presbyterian School.
Right, yes. Right, because there were some overgrown bushes and stuff cleared now.
That is the condition that school was in, that is now. It was like that 9.5 years ago. And they leave that at the mercy of people to pilfer it. And now check the kind of money we have to spend to bring back that institution. Plus, what about the others they had? That they vandalized it in bush.
Yeah, I wish there was a way to go after those in power for making poor administrative decisions like that.
Well, the person who was in charge of that is the chairman of She's the chairman of the PNM.
Diane Gatsby Dolly.
Yes. A non-performer.
Yeah.
After what she did in education. And they appoint her as chairman.
Yeah. Well, that party is crumbling, eh?
Not crumbling, they fall already.
They fall already.
Yes.
I think, imagine they were supposed to have elections in August, September, around there. They pull it up because they're crumbling too fast. And when is election?
Sometime in June.
June 2nd, I think, eh? Or nomination is...
Yeah, I think August, you know.
It was supposed...
Day, you gonna... June.
It was supposed to be in September. And it had a canal with Ashland Ford, Ferreira, and who else? And nobody won Foster. Nobody won Foster. Foster have too much baggage. And by the way, anybody know where Hines is? Where is Hines?
Missing person report.
But you ain't hearing Hines at all. Nobody ain't mentioning Hines' name.
I had an article saved. Yeah, there we go. Election for the PNM, party that's crumbling. 10 election, 16 positions will be contested. What is the date? I had the date saved here, you know. When is the date? Right, so nomination packages are available for collection May 27th. All you go and find nomination.
Already, right? They collect
no, it open on the 27th. It go, you know when it will close? Closes on Thursday 29th, tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. Up to 3:30 p.m. in Balize House. All you try and see if all you could rebuild the party now, man. Right?
You know, I always remember something when they asked...
June 2nd, yeah, I did.
When they asked Senana a question, one of the reporters, and he watched at Balize House and he said, watch performance. Remember that?
Yeah. He says
I want the reporter to take Senana on the new highway, that crumbling and falling down, and ask him if that is performance. If that is the kind of performance he's talking about. Yes, plus it have a depression on the road. One of my friends from Chase Village, he told me he went in the depression and he almost fractured his neck. That's how bad it is. Plus the highway slipping away where the asphalt is, you see it cracking. Senanan, that is performance. That is real performance.
Yeah.
You have to go in the political dustbin, a big dustbin too. One time.
Right. So they have election. I'm not seeing the date, but I know you have to fill out all forms and drop it off by the 2nd of June. Right? And I find people should participate in the election plenty, boy, because, you know, they go say whatever result it is, they go say, oh, people didn't come out, and all you vote now. All you always want to comment on.
I hear they want to put back Stewart, you know.
Well,
because Penny ain't talking.
I'm fed up tell you, stop talking to people in Diego Martin and Westmoreland and thing, you know.
They say they realize they make a mistake, they're sorry. Because Penny, when Penny was addressing the House in the as opposition leader,
right,
they thought it was a eulogy.
Right.
Like somebody dead.
Who called me and said that they don't think she could be a strong opposition leader?
No, Penny is soft-spoken, right? But no, that doesn't mean...
But again, you could be...
Right, that doesn't mean she's weak.
Right.
Right, but you remember she has some people with very big mouth close to her. And those are the ones who will be pulling the strings.
Right.
Right? You have Stewart and you have the yang, Foster Cummings in the Senate. And a surprise Sindura didn't get a senator, boy.
No, I'm not surprised at all. Sukai, Sindura, and Senanan, the 3 S's, S cube, all whether missing.
No, but I said something, and however people take it, no problem with me. I just talk straight.
You sure?
Straight. I shoot in straight.
Yes, I'm going to hold you back when you start.
PNM has always had a deputy political leader being of Indian descent. That has traditionally been the PNM mantra. That is just to get PNM votes, right? We know that. The only Indian on that team right now is Dan Paul.
Right.
And Dan Paul now come in. Because he was ambassador and thing, right? I'm sure they're going to give Dan Paul deputy political leader to appease the Indian population. Guarantee you. You want to gamble that one?
No. I agree with you there. I'm not surprised Senator Sukai and Sagram saying not involved, and I'm not surprised Dan Paul take a hit for the team.
Right.
Gone up and so on. He's a senator, eh?
How you mean?
I don't know what he going and comment.
He know how to move money, you know. The man know how to move money.
You mean from one bank account and
I don't
his
know.
bank accounts and paying bills and so on? You mean in a legitimate fashion?
I don't know if it's from the treasury to somebody else's bank account. I don't know. I just asked. He said it. So he had to come out and say where he moved the money to. I don't know. So maybe we'll ask Akash. You'll ask Dan Paul a question.
Yeah, since you always want to ask some questions.
Right?
Kind of question.
Guys, let me move on to the next one. Guys, let's show the video that I sent for you all.
Good morning, everyone. This is the drain
Baraka,
that brings the water out from the drain on the northern side of Baraka ground straight down into the main drain here. This drain goes up to Price Mart and comes straight down here. The flow is a south to north direction. As you can see, this is totally overgrown, and it's not 1 month this took to reach this stage. It is a culmination of months. So it shows quite clearly that election or not, the PNM shows you that they can do nothing and still get away with it. So we, the citizens, have to demand more from our government, whether it's UNC or PNM. We have to demand more. PNM we already get rid of them, thank God. So UNC, you know what you have to do. Okay, thank you.
That taking water from Price Mart, flowing from south to north, straight down the road as far as Chief. Right, Chief, as far as Chief. And watch the condition at that drain. And you telling me the amount of money that passed through this Faris hand, or he might say it's the corporation, and the corporation go say it's Ministry of Works, you know, normal
the
thing.
Blame game, the blame shift.
And that drain, that is why the water cannot run. So what happens, it backs up, and the savanna that we have there will flood out. It will actually flood out. The car park area will get flooded out. All the yard, the kitchen area, this flood out. All that is be happening now because all they have to do is clear the drain.
Yeah. Why not mouth and
that is all they have to do. What's so hard about that? Now here what's going on. If all you want to have a backhoe there, I could clean part. So who have to send the bill to? I will help them.
Right.
And I could even ask Mr. Indar to bring a truck.
Right.
When the water cannot drain out, we'll move the transport it out because we don't want to transport and leave slush all over the road.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if they want me to do it, we'll do it.
Right.
Because we're in the rainy season now. And it's only a matter of time again. And I think they say we're supposed to have a tropical depression coming.
Yeah.
Right?
I saw that just now when I was looking at the yellow.
Right. Everything going yellow. The weather going yellow. That is how it is. So that means the dam and them nice now, you see?
Yeah.
Yellow. Everybody yellow. Ripe and nice.
Yeah. Wassa worker was telling me today that the air in Wassa is different, you know. And he just I don't want to say a client, but a friend, more of a friend. So he wasn't just telling me for telling me sake. He was explaining that, you know, Wassa workers now are working overtime and not even sending in their bills for overtime just because they want to get the job done. They fed up get costs and boo and pelt for lack of water that they're just so happy that they have an administration now giving them resources to get people water so they wouldn't get cost something later. Imagine that, eh?
No. If Wassa give me a little contract, I go show them how to distribute.
You bidding for
I go show them how to distribute. I work Wassa. I understand the system. Right? I work in that area for 35 and a half years, right? Water distribution. Now, long time, the turncocks used to do their valving, but they used to make checks along the system to make sure that the water is reaching the citizens. So they will actually know if they have to send more water on the line, So that, because the water might come in the line, but it might reach your tank. But this time they say they're sending water. This time the customer ain't get none. So they always had a gauge. So they will go by a standpipe and check to see the pressure that they get in.
Right.
Now, I don't think they just do that now. Because by me in Twin City, I think all my pipe go bust just now. That pressure does be real high. Real high. So all they have to do is put a PRV in the line that's coming into us, regulate the pressure that we get in. We have some upstairs house there now. And they have to check. And they could distribute the excess water to our next area.
Yeah, look, somebody sent me. Currently, work is being done on Akbar Road ahead of bad weather. Look at the same kind of work you need done. A tractor out there and so on. When we leave here, we could sort it out.
Right.
We could go and tell them go up the road and sort out by the Baraka there and Price Plaza there.
Straight down from my chief right up to
They're working all now, yeah.
You see that?
Yeah. And that's another thing unique to this administration. And I saw it in 2010 in certain road works. Work being done at low traffic hours, at what we call wee hours. So it doesn't upset road users going to work, coming home from work and so on. So this is an excellent initiative.
But the next thing is they have to hold the people responsible who did the work on Akbar Trace. Akbar Trace, that road go on through.
That's the same one?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that road, the money spent on that is not even 3 years. It's not even 3 years.
Right.
The whole road going through. So either the people at Ministry of Works or whosoever in charge with the contractors, a contractor will only work based on the scope of works they give him.
Correct.
Right? So if he see he know, well, if I do it their way, I go get next contract just now. Yeah, we go take call just now. Patos like how we things we say, and so he want to take call.
You just start to hurt a man thing there.
But I want to, Richard, this is a question this is something that is bothering me every day.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what this government could do to retract that salary for a man who act for 1 day.
But you don't watch my WhatsApp messages.
I doesn't read it all.
You don't read my WhatsApp messages. I just be sending you thing right through. I sent you this.
All right.
I sent you something called an order paper. When we get to processes of parliament, I will show them what order paper is.
Right.
For those of you who have me on Facebook, I posted it on the order paper, which is basically an agenda for parliament. They have as an item, I'm looking for it, I'm trying to stall to look for it, to call out the
all
thing.
Right. Guys, while Richard looking for that, you could put up the picture that I sent for you. We have a nice picture for you to see. Watch this picture, Richard. Anita open to serving as opposition senator. She could have been government. She fighting for senator now, and they might, and in fact, all the senators announced already. So what's she looking for? 10 days? For somebody, when they're discussing something, maybe education, they might pull she in for 10 days. It's so people just embarrass themselves. She go come in and do a little URP and go back.
Mm-hmm.
She could have education ministry, or she could have been working with the minister of education right now.
No, I just always say nothing happens before it's time. Thank God she true colors.
Right, exactly.
Thank God she took her own exit and leave from the party, so the party was cleansed.
Right.
And it come like it gone through a bush bath, and it take a sea bath, and that's always able to win government. So I say thank God.
But how come Lala and Danish are making no pronouncement? You ain't seeing them, you ain't hearing them. They in the country?
They're probably making pronouncement, but the people who are taking them on, these smart people who are not taking them on. I'm not finding it now, but in short, I saw somewhere one of the bills to be proposed is an amendment to the Prime Minister Pension Act.
Right, I want that here, that's going to make my day.
Right. So we'll see. Oh God, don't worry. Don't worry.
Because I like how she hit him in the opening parliament.
Some people
there's only be there for one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. Let me just you want to take a break now and then come back at the calls?
You finish all your points?
We're not on long. Let me take a break because we have sponsors.
All right.
Guys, continue or are we taking a break?
Oh, by the way, if people wanted to get in contact with IBN to start some sponsorship, how do they reach out?
Well, they can call Inshan directly or they can call me at 7921656 and he will definitely get a message.
Or the studio, our email.
Yeah, or 645-4426. Right, look, we have studio lines here and you can give the information and we'll work out a nice package for you once spots become available.
Yeah, because a few people have asked me, how do they get in touch to run ads and stuff on the show?
Yeah, notice since you're here, we sponsorship kind of increasing too, so you know what I mean?
All right, if you say
Introducing the finest selection from premium deli and meats. Savor the bold flavors of beef salami, beef pepperoni, and chicken ham. Indulge in our diced beef bacon and perfectly sliced beef bacon. Explore the rich taste of smoked beef and tender roast beef. Treat yourself to our juicy jumbo chicken hot dogs and beef hot dogs. Top it all off with the delicate flavors of smoked turkey breast and our premium whole turkey, all halal certified for your trust. Delivered to you by Chill Foods, Premium Deli and Meats, excellence in every bite.
The power. To shatter the strongest. Conquer the indestructible with Ronex's collection of angle grinders.
Chic Leisure Limited, making life easier. Our renowned great tasting vermicelli comes pre-cut in regular and parch, packaged to make preparation simple. Attention all doubles vendors and roti makers, try our high quality pre-sifted bromate free all-purpose and whole wheat flour, low price and conveniently packaged. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Leisure Limited, Warrenville, Conopia. Chic Leisure Limited, quality you can trust.
Ronix's premium quality.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest varieties, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
Yes, welcome back. Richard, as we were saying, we were talking about the different people from different areas getting positions and all these things.
Right, and qualified people this
yes,
time.
And I want just to bring to the forefront here someone from Bamboo, within Bamboo.
Yeah, brother of the soil.
Right, he played, no matter he reached where he is now, but when we were playing football and cricket, I was the captain. You know,
you did say, but he did say something else.
No, I was the captain.
Right.
He used to play under me.
Okay.
He started taking instructions from me.
All right.
I was the boss. You know what I mean? So, guy, we have the picture. Ready? I sure everybody know what I'm talking about. This guy here, Mr. Jagdev Singh. Mr. Jagdev Singh, congratulations on your position, sir. You have made the villagers of Bamboo very proud. Look at that position you're in right now. I hope you're watching. And you could remember when I used to be moving you around in the field, on the cricket field, you know, and on the football field, I used to tell you where to play too. So I want to wish you all the best. On behalf of IBN staff, Mr. Jagasa, you will give your take on it. Congrats, brother man. I know you will make us proud in Parliament. Richard?
Yeah, I know the villagers of Bamboo, the young boys used to call him Lee.
Yeah, Lee.
Lee?
But it's one thing. It's one thing. I ain't want to say it here, but when I meet him, I just tell him. One thing I know about him,
Yeah.
And it has 2 wheels. That's all I will say.
It has 2 wheels.
It has 2 wheels.
A motorbike?
I just saying 2 wheels.
All right. I want to say congratulations as well. I know when the news of the appointment came public, I know the legal fraternity was all in red, bolded hearts. And I too share that sentiment. He is, if you've been around him, he is a well knowledgeable, a pleasable, he's a people's person. He helps junior attorneys grow in the profession. He helps senior attorneys find their footing in the new age of technology and so on. He's courteous. He's a good advocate. He's an excellent orator. He is a gentleman in the profession. I am not surprised that he was elevated to the 5th highest position in the land. And I do expect and perceive good and great things to come. And let me just say that other than the cricket field and the football field and so, Lee. Lee, yes, I do know that he will be a house speaker like no other.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so I look forward to that. And of course, I too, in my personal capacity from my family and of course my birth family and my IBN family, I too say congratulations to Mr. Jagdev Singh.
And while we're on that, I think the first thing he should get is a bus route pass. You don't think so?
Well, I want to segue into that point, but I also want to again be very fair, because people who hold public office, they get bus route pass naturally. The issue that was brought to light recently was people who do not hold public office, who got what is called a letter pass, a pass for a person who does not hold public office. So he will get a bus route pass. I know that the joke he was making, but there are people in society. How much they say? 400 and something?
I think they say 600 and
600 and
something.
600 and something. 600 and something passes. Yeah. But remember, some with no names. Right, yes, correct. So people who hold no office in this land, who receive passes for what reason, boy? What were some of the names on that list?
Some fellas leaving late and using the bus route because they had to go the oval.
And lose match.
I don't understand that. I don't understand how they qualify for a bus route pass.
Right. Look at this one. Anthony Sabga III, Norman Sabga. How them getting bus? Gerald Hadid. How them getting bus route pass?
Yeah, I don't remember financiers. Like financiers or no? Alleged financiers.
And doctors who were rushing for surgery can't get bus route pass.
That is.
How that making sense?
Anything makes sense on the PNM?
Let me tell you something. I was thinking about it. Open up the bus route pass to everyone. However, put 3 or 4 tolls on the bus route. Anybody could buy a pass.
Right.
Like if you've been to the US or you've been to London, you know, like they have the sun passes.
Right, yes.
You buy a sun pass, $20-something for it a month. You renew it every month. It's small money, $20-something. And every toll, $2.50.
Revenue generation.
Revenue generation. So anybody could use it. Anybody could use the bus route. But you pay $2 per toll. And you stretch out the 4 tolls from one end of the bus route to the other. Only 4. If you travel from Miami to Orlando, how much toll it has passed? So we just passed in that stretch, which is roughly 2.5 hours drive. In that stretch, you just pay about $30, $30 US in toll.
Maxi taxis wouldn't agree with that.
No. I'm talking about private citizens. Maxi taxis, you continue to run them in the old system, where they pay for their pass.
They will humbug them for making the trips.
I don't think so, because the people who use in the pass now, the bus route now, will continue to use it. And the additional people now, income generating. So listen. They do a feasibility test. That ain't gonna take long,
right.
and see if it goes.
If it's viable.
Yeah.
All right. You want to take some calls?
And if you're saying if you want to incorporate the bus route in it, you could reserve a lane.
Yeah.
You could reserve a lane for maxis and buses. You know, that's what they do in the US and in London. They reserve lanes for those things.
We have time to take calls?
I think we could take 1 or 2.
Guys, we could 10 minutes with calls and then we'll sign off. All right. You see, them fellas cooking with gas. See how they're operating there? Okay.
Once it's not coal pot, they're cooking.
Okay. And what about Mr. Coalpot as you talk that, boy?
Quiet. You can't say nothing. What you say?
Boy. I really don't know. I feel to tell you the truth here now.
I see he pulling out a resignation letter there, you know. That what you doing there, Recorder?
In the history of Trinidad and Tobago, this is the weakest the PNM has ever been, you know.
Other than 333.
I mean, real weak, you know.
Yeah.
Hello, good night, caller.
Disoriented, I think, for sure. Because even 333, they were good.
Hello, good night, caller.
Hi, good night.
Yes, go ahead.
Richard, Mr. Nazim and the other guy there. The
Yes, sir.
guy.
Mr. Right. Jagisa.
You know, you was asking about getting a feedback from...
Lower the TV?
Yes, lower the volume.
I muted.
All right.
Yeah. You were talking about Anita Haynes, Dinesh Rambali, and Larry Lala. I understand that they might be contesting a position in the PNM internal election. I don't know what position they might be contesting, but this is probably what they might be contemplating. But coming to the issue, Richard, with the pension that you were speaking about, there was an article about 3 weeks ago, I don't know if you read that article, by Louis Leasing, former PRO of the PNM. And he quoted very distinctly the terms and conditions of pension of public officers. And what it was stated, I can recall, because I had the article, but I don't know where I misplaced it. What he was saying is that pensions was something that was designed upon retirement, so that when you retire, you get that pension to carry out through for the rest of your life. However, Short Young has not retired. In fact, he lost his position. So therefore, he was not entitled to any pension.
No, caller, but no, the point is.
How long he served and what have you.
No, caller, the point is, he will get the pension when he retire, based on what they're saying. But he only acted in the position for 1 day.
But therefore,
so that is the point.
Yeah, caller.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not mix it up. He is an MP now, so he will get his MP salary now. Right. And if I understand the legislation correctly, he will get his, as things are now today, without any amendments, he will get his Prime Minister pension, which is $87,000 and change. Plus perks. Whatever he retires.
When he retires.
When he retires. So if he serves out of 5 years and he's done, he goes home with that pension after having served at that rank for only a day. However, I strongly believe that is going to be amended and adjusted. So I don't think we need to discuss that any further.
All right.
Yeah. the highest, he may go home with a MP's pension, which I think he's entitled to because he served as an MP for, I think, 3 terms.
Right,
Well,
and
at the end of this one,
I don't think he will ever see prime ministership again under the PNM.
Yeah, but I
don't think
feel
so.
that photo they have in Piarco International Airport, they really need to take that down, eh?
It have no date?
No, and it's an embarrassment.
Oh,
yeah. At best, it could probably be like a footnote in social studies class or something. He served as a 22-hour prime minister or something. So, but I can't see
All right,
why that's there.
we have our next caller. Hello, good night, caller. Hello? Hello?
I call you live. Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum and
Wa alaikum assalam.
So, Kedana Drive-In was formerly known as the Curab Drive-In. In Shan brother would know that.
Kedana?
And then the family, it was a East Indian family, sold it to the late Dr. Max Sawan, a well-known gynecologist. And he named the drive-in Kedana. He named it after his two daughters, Kay and Donna. But then eventually, with the introduction of DVDs and videos and all of that, the drive-in started to lose money. So they closed down. Subject to correction, I understand that the drive-in was then bought by Mr. Rohan Sananan.
I think so.
Right. And what happened is when the Curab interchange was going to be constructed, he, as the Minister of Works, had to acquire Kedana, which he owned. So he's acquiring Kedana from himself. And up to today, I would still like to know how much money the state paid him for Kedana.
That's a good question. I think that could be the subject of a request under the FYA.
Yes, we could do that.
So you could probably see an attorney who's versed in that and get that done. When you get information, you could share it with IBN.
All right. We have a next caller. Hello, good night, caller. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, hello. All right, good night. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we are. Go ahead.
Good. I went down to Baraka Grounds last week to make my contribution, which I pledged. And I did not meet anybody there, but I realized that I called tonight and I got a number to call somebody and they would make sure and facilitate me tomorrow.
All right.
I'm asking you
time,
all.
What time did you pass, caller?
May have been a little after lunch, 2 o'clock or so.
I just normally be there. I just leave like around 1:30. And
all right.
But call me. You can take my number 792-1656. Once you call me, I will accommodate you.
Right, but I'm just making the play to tell people who would have made pledge if they would have passed and you weren't there to continue to make an effort to do so.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Thank you.
Over and out.
And sorry about the inconvenience.
No, it's no inconvenience.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
I understand. He's saying
before we go to the next caller, I want to let the viewers, the country by extension, know we are having our Grand Expo. Grand Expo starting on the 17th of July to the 20th of July. Book your tents early because from what I understand, they are going very fast. Very fast. So book early so we'll be able to know, organize with the people who supplying the tents and make the available space. So as I said, the 17th to the 20th at the Baraka Grounds, come in a safe, enjoyable environment where you can bring your children and you don't have to worry. So on the 17th to the 20th, our expo will be in full swing. Richard, you want a tent?
I want a tent, a boot.
You could give legal advice.
I tried to do this thing where I looked at comments while the live was going on. So before we take the next call, I just want to point out. So while I was going on, some comments. Some people always have to pay extra to go up north and rent. That's unfair. The Bay campus will assist with that. Right. Open the Bay campus to, and of course a list of programs. Of course, that's not up to us. the government has jurisdiction over the campus. I saw that in the papers. Somebody is commenting and saying that. Somebody commented and said, remove the principal, Rosemary Belanto, and she doesn't have the people of TNT at heart. She's not even from TNT. Look at that. You know, another person, we don't want penny, we want sense instead. That's a good one.
I think.
That's a good one.
We have a caller before it.
Yeah.
Hello, good night, caller. Hello?
Hi, good night.
Good night, sir. Go ahead.
Calling from St. Augustine, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, the issue with the government not finding any money in any of the ministries, I don't think the minister to be blamed for that, you know. The permanent secretary is the person who will sign up on all monies in the ministries. And what the government need to do is to call the permanent secretary to account for the missing money.
Yeah.
And that
Caller,
was the
I think
problem.
that's an excellent point. I raised it with some other professionals in my circle, where I inquired, well, who is to be held accountable for paying rent for leases that don't exist? If a lease is expired, who is signing off on that check? Who from the Ministry of Finance or from whatever public authority is renting the building? Who is authorizing that? Is it the PS? Is it the finance officer? Is it the administrative arm? Who is doing that? And I think that person has to be held accountable. Why is that payment being made and there is no check and balance? Why is that payment being made and there is no contract, no lease, no arrangement with the state, no cabinet minute note or otherwise? I think that's a serious issue. Somebody has to be in handcuffs.
You have to hold people accountable.
Couldn't the minister administration get that information, Mr. Jagasa?
I think right now, they stressed last week that they're in the information gathering stage, the assessment stage. I think, the way it's looking, I think that's coming.
Yeah, I think we have to give them a little time. We can.
But it's unreasonable. Like, okay, you worked WASA. If somebody come and tell you, well, we have to pay $2,000 for that pipe day, you go and rush and sign check?
No, of course not.
Exactly.
I looking for good quality pipe for about $5.
Yeah.
All right. I think.
So some numbers on the screen, folks. Anybody who wants to donate?
All right.
You can call those numbers. WhatsApp those numbers.
Zakir Ishmael 475-2230. You can contact him concerning the expo, and my number there 792-1656, and you can also call the office at ROC 663-4762, and you can ask for Fiona, and she will give you all the details. She'll take your name down, just tell her what size tent you need, all the particulars. She will ask you, and we move on from there.
Yeah.
I think we're moving fast now. I don't know if we want to keep back these guys, Richard.
Nah, they also have to copy light and thing again.
All right, so I would just like to again thank the people for their pledges. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That the sum we raised. I tell you, they really catch me by off guard there. They really catch me off guard.
Mm-hmm.
But that is good. I want to thank you very, very much. And we will definitely. A lot of people come into the grounds, and when they ask me, but they're not seeing actual work going on. I told them that the external work has been completed. Right now, I will take a video, and next week you will probably see it.
Yeah, let's go down and do that this week.
Yeah, they're doing the air condition docking and the oxygen lines. That is being done at present, and as that is completed, we'll be going straight with the ceiling and lighting. All the electrical has already been done. The plumbing is done. So we come in, we will be there. Once you continue to give us the support that we need, we will definitely reach there.
Yeah.
So thanks again. Richard, all is yours.
Again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing another Wednesday night with us. Engineer Ishmael was with us, even though he's in pain, even though he's going through a very difficult time, he still pushed through. That shows strength, that shows versatility. And I want to thank him, and I want to thank all those who donated. And being a part of this exercise, being a part of a nation, you know, we're in a period where every day is an event commemorating 180 years of Indian Arrival Day. And Indian Arrival Day is not Hindu Arrival Day, is not Muslim, it's Indian Arrival Day, marking the transition of a population from one corner of the world to another. And for a small island, I think we've done very well for ourselves. And we see it in the fact that Incha Ishmael has, on behalf of the Islamic community and the Indian community, donated and done so much for others, all races, all genders, all society, all aspects of society's economic background and so on. And now at this stage in his life, he can receive such generosity and such contributions from all persons, all walks of life, back to him. And again, it's in a capacity that's going to help society. And in a number of ways, that is the root, that is the generosity and so on, is the root, kindness and so on, is the root of belief in that part of the world for all religions and for all ethnicities. And I think that we as a society have shown that it's still inherent in us. And I think it will continue, it will grow and be rekindled as the days pass us. So I thank you all for that. I thank you all for...
Before you go, Richard, it was really remiss of me for not wishing the entire Trinidad and Tobago a happy Indian Arrival Day, because on that day, everybody celebrates.
Yeah.
It's not only a particular section, everybody partake. So again, I want to wish you all the best. And as a matter of fact, it's only Wednesday, I heard, Monday, sorry, that my grandfather was from Afghanistan.
You didn't know that before?
No. It's my big brother who told me that. He said he was from Afghanistan. He's about 6'9".
So your grandfather came on a boat?
Right, definitely.
Right. So you are a grandchild of Afghanistan citizen.
And his wife, grandmother, she came from India.
Right. I am a great grand, one great. So it shows how recently that was. 180 years is just the other day. And when people uproot their lives and come over to a different side of the world for whatever reason, they have to rebuild. And they did it in a way where they told themselves, I'm going to be instrumental in the fabric of this society, in the development, in the movement from a colonialized state to independence. And they not only watched a nation build itself, they were an active part of building a nation. They got to build a nation and build its democracy. And I think that is something that we really, really, really have to be proud of. In just a few, yours is you are grandson, I'm a great grandchild, so just 2 or 3 generations. It's really something to be amazed by.
All right, so that's it, guys. Okay, folks, we'll catch you next week, Wednesday. Good evening, and assalamu alaikum.